Franklin.
Hello.
Hello.
And welcome.
Welcome to Shoe Crazy Wine Presents. Today we're presenting
Halloween.
We're pairing wine and these delicious homemade candies.
Ooh.
Remember from your childhood?
Oh.
Kit Kats, Reese's Pieces, Mounds. I still eat Mounds.
Me
Pumpkin
too.
candy corn.
Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't.
Sometimes
We got snowballs and a Twinkie.
and a Twinkie. So
Yes.
I'm Gwen,
Snowballs and Twinkie.
Shoe Crazy Wine, founder of Shoe Crazy Wine. And to my, is this my right or my left?
That's your left.
Left. To my left.
Hello, my name is Brittany Hurd. I am Baby Shoe Crazy Wine.
And I am Cherishina St. Clair, also known as the Sister Sommelier. For today, you can call me Miss Blankety Blank Blank 2020.
Woo! Hello.
It's 2020.
She said 2020 wasn't good to anybody.
Nobody. Not a one.
And we are missing one of our co-hosts today, Miss Benita Johnson.
Benita.
Yes, so she's out today, but I've got a surprise guest that's going to fill Benita's chair. A surprise. Everybody's going to love her. Don't make me laugh. Everybody's going to love her. So here's what we're going to be pairing. Not only candy, but when we have candy and wine, and we're not expecting a lot here. Teresina and Brittany have already said this is going to be ugly.
It's going to be real ugly. And we might not feel good tomorrow morning.
There you go. But when we need to cleanse our palate, we're going to do it with some barbecue Vienna sausages. Anybody say
I'm sure everybody sees my face right now.
And then we're going to also have what I crudely created as a cheese.
It's supposed to be a candy corn.
Candy corn. Okay. So we got some sharp cheddar and some mild cheddar and some cheese to help us out. And then
hey,
look
Benita!
at what you're missing. We got Twinkies.
Tasty goodness.
There we go. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to try pairing one of these candies right now with, I'm not done yet. Wait a minute. We have a beautiful French Côte d'Ivoire.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we're gonna knock it down a notch. We're gonna make it ghetto. Okay. And we have a beautiful Spanish Merlot. Gonna make it ghetto. And then we have these gorgeous sweet wines from America.
Yes.
These are the Shoe Crazy wines. And these are never ghetto.
Never.
They're never ghetto. They're always on the high end. We're about to turn these ghetto too. So everybody going down.
Foolishness over
everybody
here.
going down.
Oh, Donald just popped in.
Hi, Donald. All right. So what do we want to start with? Who's brave? I say we start with this beautiful Côte.
I think that's what I'm sipping on
Yeah.
right now.
How you gonna start drinking first, Brittany?
You're going to pregame.
Happy Halloween.
You pre-gaming on Halloween on a wine show? I'm not loving it. All right, so
Not
I'm
at
gonna have some
all.
of this, and I'm gonna pour. I poured a big pour.
You sure did. That's okay.
It's not real what you're seeing. It's all an illusion.
So I'm gonna sip a little because even though we're playing with candy, we're playing with candy today. We are.
These teeth going to get in the way.
We're gonna start out with a little sip of our Côte d'Ivoire.
Oh, that smells good.
And what is this? A blend of? This is
It's Grenache and Syrah.
60% Grenache, 40% Syrah.
It's actually really good.
I know it's very good. That's why we decided to, dummy it down a little bit.
That's really smooth.
I can't taste with my teeth.
Take your teeth out, Mom.
Take out
from the
the
UK?
Stick out the dentures.
All right, so I'm going to try it with candy corn. You want to try it with candy corn first?
Lord,
That's going to hurt.
You know what? It's something on the finish of this. This might be interesting because it's got a little bit of that cherry Jolly Rancher thing going.
Yummy going.
I don't know. I think I'm going to try with the gummy.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's dry.
Oh,
Ooh, that's dry.
Okay,
I'm scared.
Go ahead.
All right, hold on.
Oh, God.
I'm going to do it. These are the same flavors, aren't they?
You know what? That's
I'm
god
gonna do it.
awful.
Is it? I'm not going to do it.
I
I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do it with the
I do it.
candy corn then.
Okay.
Not good.
All
Let's
right.
just play.
I'm going to go in with a
The
mound.
chocolate,
I'm
yes.
going with the mound.
Yes.
Of course, you had to get mounds.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I want to try it with the Whopper.
Mm.
Is that a Whopper? Is that what are they call Whoppers? Whoopers? Whoppers.
Whoppers.
It's good with the mounds.
Okay.
It's very good with the mounds, yeah. I like it.
Because that's dark chocolate.
I like it. So we're pairing candy. We're pairing candy, which gives me a segue. And for those of you that don't know what the word segue is, I don't care.
It's a
Okay.
vehicle. It's like, did you ride around Richmond on?
What's the matter with it?
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
And what you riding around?
Segue is an entryway into
Oh, right. And that.
yeah, and that. And that. Oh my God. It's the one you ride around. Okay.
This is not.
I have nothing.
Nope.
I like it with the mounds.
I haven't tried it with the mounds, but the
good
candy
with the
corn
mounds.
is
It's really good with the mounds.
Look,
But so I'm gonna introduce.
we're gonna do you justice next time.
Yeah.
We're gonna pair you with some stuff
Yeah,
next
yeah,
time, some
real
real
good.
stuff. Okay, don't think we're playing with you because this is Halloween and we have to do what we
We
do.
have to do
Ugly.
something crazy. I know we had to do something crazy.
But with the mounds, it's really good.
I'm gonna try. I have to try with the mounds because the
Okay.
rest of this stuff is so sweet. It's hurting my teeth.
I was gonna try with the refund stuff.
Okay. So
What?
here's what I want to do. I want to introduce our special guest. We have a special guest, and the reason I said we're doing candy because candy is a segue into our special guest.
Oh,
Candace, come on up, Candace. Candace, come on.
You're so pretty, girl. You're gorgeous.
What?
She has dragons.
Okay. Now,
Mm.
I tell you, Stephen introduced me to Candace. Bohannon, is that your last name?
Mhm.
What is
Okay,
it?
Candace Bohannon.
Yes.
Candace,
pretty.
welcome to Shoe Crazy Wine Presents. We're doing spooky.
That's
Halloween.
good.
Come on in. So, Stephen, our producer. Hey, Stephen.
Hey,
Okay,
Steven.
Stephen, our producer, introduced me to Candace. And for some reason, when I heard her voice, it reminded me of my mother.
Oh.
And he says, I know somebody that does spiritualism and she's into that. And she's also an author. She's written many books about interracial dating and
What?
relationships. And Benita, she's the one I wanted to introduce to you for Books and Bottles to talk about her books that she has written about interracial dating. And we've all been there. We
Yeah.
all have family members that, are dating
Mhm.
someone outside of their culture. But that's not why she's here today. She's a surprise guest because she's going to read us. Ooh,
What? What?
Say what?
So I'm going to turn it over to Candace to introduce herself and tell a little bit about the spiritualism side.
Okay. Well, my name is Candace Nicole, and I come to you all in light, love, and darkness. And what that means is I come in balance. So I embrace all of myself. And so when people hear darkness, they're like, oh my God, that's evil. Dark is bad, which is incorrect. That's what we've been taught to think, but it's wrong because think about it. When we're born, we're birthed in darkness.
Yeah.
Our mother's womb
Womb
is
is
dark.
dark.
So when you are going through the darkness, you are growing, you're elevating, you're learning. So I come light, love, and darkness.
Oh.
Wow,
So,
I love that too. Cheers. Wow. Candace, we have to get you
Oh, look.
in the
yeah,
game.
we got you an empty glass.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, you a little something, something.
We're in the game, Candace.
You don't like this
You
too.
want candy corn?
That's good.
I don't
Please
know
don't
if
give her
you
no
want to
candy corn.
No, I don't want the kids.
We'll do it with the
It's
now.
actually good with the Reese's cup too.
The Reese's cup.
Yeah,
All right, so we'll give you the
Nothing gonna
Reese's
do it.
cup.
Even do
I'm
it.
not that brave, but I'll pretend. But so I'm a spiritualist, and what that means is I believe in complete freedom. So I believe everybody is on their own path and their own journey. So like if you are into religion, that's absolutely fine. That's for you, but it's not for me. I believe in being one with myself. I believe in getting to know myself, fully knowing me, and honoring our ancestors. I believe in gods and goddesses, and I believe I don't bend a knee to anybody or anything.
There you go,
So with
girl.
these gods and goddesses, we have a
Absolutely.
partnership. We get to know each other, just like you're meeting someone. You sit down and you take the time to talk to them and learn what they like and what they don't like, and we form a partnership, and it's a bond. And like when I first started my journey, what was the most amazing thing was to know that you're never alone. Like Candace Nicole is never alone. And that was just mind blowing to me, because you are always surrounded with your ancestors and your spirit team, you know?
Oh, I like that.
Spirit team.
I love that.
So-
Everybody should have a spirit
spirit
team.
team.
Everybody does have
we have a spirit team.
Yes. So you're never alone. And that was the biggest thing for me, was like, because at times I did feel like I was by myself.
Yeah.
You know? And then like, also like, you have this team around you who accept you for you. You know, you don't have to worry about if you do something quote unquote wrong, that they're going to turn their back on you or talk about you. So that's how I started my my spiritual journey. And then, like I said, it's about complete freedom, you know, not having to worry about, well, if I don't do it this way, you know, I'm going to get smite down.
Right.
So that's what my spiritual journey started off like that for me. And it's just growing more and more. And so I do offer like spiritual coaching sessions. And what that is like when people are coming on their path, or even if they've been on their path for a while, and, you know, if they have questions, or they just need someone to talk them through things, or just to listen, because everybody knows when you come to me, there's no judgment. So like, I even have people who are Christians, and they book sessions with me because there's no judgment. You know, I respect whatever you believe. I just ask that you respect what I believe. And that's the thing about spirituality. It's not me saying you have to believe what I believe. You don't. You know? And like I said, everybody is on their own spiritual
Everybody
journey.
has their own journey.
I like that.
I like that too. Thank you so much for explaining that. That is really wonderful. That kind of leads us into, you know, what I had actually come and kind of, you know, doing this.
And then,
Because she need help.
And then this one on the end here. But don't do me. I'm
right.
See,
I'm
she's got a nerve, y'all. Read her first.
Well, see, that's the thing
Remember.
with reading too.
Yeah.
And so let me explain that. You have to understand that, because Hollywood makes it seem like, oh, you have these people who are like spiritualists or root workers or witches or voodoo or hoodoo, whatever, you know, they make it seem like, oh, so scary, and they're just tapping into you and they're doing all this. When someone comes to me and asks me for a reading, that means they are open to it, right? And then so sometimes even when you come to me and say, hey, I want a reading, and I'm like, okay, sometimes when I'm about to go in, your ancestors show up and be like, wait a minute.
wow.
You have to ask her, you know, we need to hear her say, yes, Candace Nicole has permission to read me. And because you have to understand, like, no one can just keep tapping into you, because that's how Hollywood makes it seem like, oh, you know, well, she does a reading on you, she's opening up all this thing so all these spirits can get on you. Whenever I do a reading, and anyone who's doing a reading, they're supposed to call for protection over them, you, and the entire reading, you know? So Hollywood does make it spooky and makes it, you know, like all scary and stuff, but that's not the case, you know? But the thing is, if people are not open to having a reading, that's absolutely fine too, you know, because that's your right. You have the right to say no. You have the right to say yes, you know? So, and if you're not open to it, that's anybody, you know, that's completely fine.
What happens in a reading?
So it depends on what type of reading we're going to do. So like, for instance, if let's say an intuitive reading. So what an intuitive reading is, it's I get messages from source, God, goddesses, whatever you want to, however you want to refer to the higher being, and like your oversoul. So your oversoul is your higher self. So when I go in, I'm connecting with your oversoul, your higher self, and I'm connecting to spirit to say, you know, let me know what they need to know. So that's what that type of reading is. So like when I do an ancestral reading, what that is, it's just letting me know like what ancestors are around, like what ancestors are around, what messages are coming from this group of people, like what are some things that you need to work on in your life, and so you know, so you're working with those.
An ancestral reading.
And then we have like mediumship readings. So a mediumship reading is when I call forth a certain person. So you say, hey, I want to speak to such and such, and I will tell people now, because you have to understand, I can call them forth, but sometimes they may not come forth. So because there's depending on how long they've been over the other side of the veil, they may not be strong enough to come forth, or they may not have anything to say. and sometimes another ancestor will come, or another. It's not even an ancestor. Sometimes like a friend or somebody who has a message for you will come through. So I always say, just be open. You know, be open. To receiving messages, you know. So then there's past life readings. So
I need a piece of something.
and that connects you to, you know, your past lives and different things that were going on.
So is there anything you can do right now, kind of like
Yeah, with Gwen. Can we start with Gwen?
I am passing the buck.
Yes, you know.
I mean, I love the ancestral one, but which one is the first one you said? The intuitive.
Now, for me personally, and like, because I have my boundaries and what I believe in. So, like, I would do an intuitive reading in front of the camera, but to me, certain things are sacred. So, like an ancestral or mediumship, I wouldn't do in front of the camera. Like, if someone booked a session and if we did it via Zoom, that's fine. Because me and that person, and then afterwards you can do whatever you want with it, but just to honor myself and my team and my beliefs, I won't do that.
You see, it's so funny you say that. Remember I said you reminded me of my mom, because my mother would do that, and she would always say that too, and it's like people would try to put her like almost like a circus act, you know, with what she was doing, and she was very serious in her craft, and that's what I call it.
Oh wow!
And I had
She's a medium.
Yeah, she was. I'll tell you, clairvoyant medium is a better word, like Brittany said. I was introduced to how powerful it was through my mother when we were at a church in upstate New York, where we lived there, and she stood up in this church that none of us had ever been to. I mean, literally never stepped in this church. And she stood up and she touched this gentleman's head in front of us, and she said, "I will help you tell them." And of course,
what?
I'm all right
now. You got to out them in church.
Come on now, we don't know these people. I was a little, I have to say, I'm ashamed to admit it, but I was a little embarrassed because we didn't know anyone there. And she said, "No, I need to help him tell them." And this man started to sob hysterically. I mean, just sob. And she says, "I'm going to go with him to his home." And I'm like, "No, you're not. You don't know who this person is. Where are you going? You're you know, we don't know, you know, where he lives or anything like that." And she goes, "No, I have to go." And she went there to help him tell his family that he had been diagnosed with cancer, and he had literally 2 months to live. He had to get his affairs in order, and he didn't know how to tell his wife and kids. And she helped him tell his wife and kids. So then I became a believer in whatever that gift or craft was that she had. It was there, and it's like you said, her intuition was that this man needed help. And so when I was talking to Candace, I went, "Wow, you just, the way you explain it, the way you connect to what you're doing is exactly what I grew up around." You know?
And see, and the thing is, everybody has intuition. It's that gut feeling.
Right.
But what happens is, like, we have been programmed not to think for ourselves, not to trust ourselves, and we think in you know, trust outside sources. So you always have that intuition, and you always have that gut feeling. So that's what, like, on your journey, it's like you are building that stronger connection, because that intuition is your higher self. Your higher self will never steer you wrong. You know, So.
Look, Benita is saying the exact same thing. Intuitive.
Yes.
So absolutely. I think we've all, you know, we've all been there. But yeah, so I'm ready.
Okay, here.
Scooch over.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
yeah,
Okay.
here. I'm here.
Let me touch the dragon. Help.
Oh, she has dragon.
Let me rub the dragon.
My
has
dragon.
dragon.
The dragon. I know. And remember, I'm a cougar. All right. Okay. All right.
Yeah, you want
Want me
to
to
sit
switch sheets?
here? Yeah, let's do it.
In the zone.
I just need you to verbally say it, that I have permission to.
You have permission.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, what's coming for you is you have you do have gifts and you have abilities, right? And you know how to tap in, but there is resistance. There's a fear, and it goes with programming, and it also could kind of what you said earlier, something about a shame and being embarrassed. So what you just need to do, you need to walk in your truth, speak your truth. Don't worry about what others feel or what they have to say, because that's not important.
Right.
You have to be true to yourself, because you are about to go into a level of ascension, and that means elevating, becoming more in tune with yourself and becoming more in tune with source or God, whatever you refer to. So just be bold and be brave and just don't worry about what anybody else has to say, because if they can't accept you for who you are, then they don't need to be around you.
Wow.
Amen. Amen. And you know what? It's so interesting that you say fear, because people ask me what keeps me up at night. It's the fear of where we're going next. And for me, the focus, it's 1,000% is on building my company. But in the same token, I'm scared to death of what that means.
Yeah,
When you get to that point, what does success mean? I know what it meant to me when I started this, which is to see my wine on a shelf, right? One of the supermarket shelves. I'm beyond that. It's I live in fear almost. I wake up with anxiety attacks. Brace.
So what you need to do is now it's time to take that. I'm sorry, I'm not looking at you. I do that. To connect with yourself. So, like for instance, because fear is going to stop you.
Yeah.
Fear is one of the strongest emotions, and when you fear, you're projecting. So you're going to attract more fear and uncertainty and self-doubt. So now what you want to do is take the time to sit and write down, what does success look like for me? What is the next step? What do I want to happen? And then you write it down. And you don't have to do it all in one setting. A couple of days, and just sit and think about it and just write. And whatever comes to mind, just write it down. And then you can go back and reread it and rewrite it if you want to. And that's a whole petition right then and there. And you speak over it and say, this is what I want to come to pass. This is what is going to come to pass. I accept it. I receive it. It is done.
Nice.
And the other thing I think that I heard you say is, don't worry about what other people think of you. It's what I feel about myself. And I have started embracing that over the last couple of years, which is, this is who I am. Whether you accept it or like it or not is irrelevant to me now. And it's so interesting that you keyed in on that, because that's what I've been kind of like shouting from the rooftops lately, which is, this is who I am. I accept who I am.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Now, who else is on deck? This is wonderful.
Go ahead, I'll do it.
All right.
Okay.
I'm going to scoot back because lightning
Yeah.
might strike. I'm going to scoot you all the way back.
It's gonna do me like that.
I'm going to scoot.
That's fine.
I was going to say, it's Halloween. I was going to say it's Valentine's Day, but it's Halloween. Oh, my God. I don't know where I'm at. Okay. I'm going to scoot back.
Oh wow. That's how she feels, man.
You know what? First of all, it's hard for me to listen to her with them teeth hanging out your mouth. Please stop looking.
I know. I can't even look at Teresita right now.
Look, hold on.
Oh, okay. I was like, all right.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
I know I can't even look at Teresita right now with the teeth and the hair.
I have my teeth.
All right. I need more wine after that, because this is such a validation of how I've been feeling that I just think wonderful. And this is a beautiful Merlot.
That is
And
a great Merlot.
This is a
I'm
great
gonna
Merlot.
finish this. I'm gonna have to take my teeth out for this one.
And it's got that peppery.
For you.
Do I have to say the words? I allow you, or
No,
okay.
you opened up.
Wow.
Okay, for you have a loving spirit. You have a giving spirit. You have a spirit of wanting to help others, but at the same time is it's a lot of self-sacrificing. It's like, I'm going to show you how much I love you by doing this and doing that and doing this. I'm proving to you how much I love you, but I want you to love me back. You're giving too much, and what happens is you give too much, so a person is not appreciating you. It's like something about self-esteem, something about I just need you. I need somebody to love me. I need something to love me. I will do anything to make you happy. So I'm going to wrap it up because this is private. Self-esteem, work on self-love, because you are a beautiful person.
She is a
and
beautiful
your spirit
person.
is super sweet.
Oh my
Okay?
goodness.
Yes. Oh, wow.
Yes, let's toast to her.
Yes.
Yeah,
that was
yourself.
Let's
Oh
do
my
it.
God,
Let's toast.
Candace.
That's a very, very big thing with me.
Yes. Toasting to that.
I do.
We love you,
absolutely.
Brittany.
Oh my God, I
Thank
can't
you for
believe
that.
that you. Oh my God.
I
You
do that constantly with friends and even family.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's almost as if I get
And relationships.
walked over in a way.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
So I would just suggest like self-love work.
Self-love.
I can
Putting
work on
yourself
that.
and boundaries, being able to say no. And that is hard,
Very difficult.
It's very hard. And
Oh.
we all struggle with it, but what you have to do is say, this is what I'm going to accept. This is what I'm not going to accept. If someone, violates my boundaries, then this is a consequence. You have to have it out and even write it down.
Yeah.
And then you see it and then you keep thinking about it. This is my boundaries. This is my boundaries. This is my boundary. You know what? Right now you're violating me. This is my boundary and I don't accept it.
I love it.
Okay.
For saying no.
Love it.
Wow.
I love it.
Thank you so much.
My
for that.
eyelashes are
Thank
going to
you.
fall off.
Okay, now I got to do it.
True.
I got to do it.
Oh my God.
I think I know where she's going.
Benita,
Christina.
I wish you were here, Benita.
I'm
This is-
scared. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I'm
Unbelievable.
scared because she might out me in front of America and it's like, you are an asshole.
No. That would be the ancestral reading.
That'll be the ancestral one. Yeah, do that one in private. Yeah, do that one in private.
This is, oh my goodness. All right. She's
And
going
yes, I
again.
give you permission.
Oh my God. I don't
Let
even
me
know
not
what
put
to
my
pair.
teeth in because I'm scared I'm
Oh
gonna
my
start crying. My teeth will
Okay.
fall out.
All right. I'm going to try this with the Vienna sausage.
You were
While
on
she's
your
doing
own
that.
on that one.
Oh, don't
you
be a
are
chicken.
so
It's
on your
Halloween. Oh God. They start out off.
Did you at least heat them up? Or
No.
you just took them
Can I
straight
get
No,
it
right out of the
brown?
can.
right out of the can? And then you
Okay.
heat them up with some butter
You guys
and
need to try this with the Vienna
We
sausage.
are not gonna do that.
Yes, you are.
Okay. For you.
Yes.
Find joy in every situation, regardless of what it is. Joy, peace, and happiness. Whatever is going on, you have to find the joy, you have to find peace. It's inside of you, and then you have to embrace it. And once you embrace it, it's going to come out into whatever situation is going on. I don't know if something's going on now or if it's something is about to come, but that's what I'm hearing. Like, find that joy, the peace, and the happiness in every situation, even if it looks bleak. Validate your feelings. So if you get upset, that's okay.
Okay.
It's okay to be upset. Validate it, honor it, process it, and then find a reason to have joy, because
Oh God.
your sad emotions,
Uh-huh.
they're it's super strong, and
Yeah.
it can take over everything, and you have to balance it out. It's okay, like I said, to be upset. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be angry. Validate it. It's like, this is why I'm angry. This is why I'm sad. This is what happened. Okay, well, why do I feel this way, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so I have pinpointed it. I'm not going to ignore that, but I'm going to find the joy of the situation, even if it's, you know what, I'm alive today and I'm breathing. Find joy in something about like music and dance, like put some music on and dance. Yeah,
that
joy,
free
peace, and
spirit
happiness.
going.
We getting ready to do that in a few minutes.
Oh,
We're gonna
yeah.
do that.
You busy about
We're gonna
this?
do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
And I
wow.
needed that.
I'm like,
What I'm dealing with now is like I can't even talk about it right now. It's not even personal. It's just when a realization about something that is like hurting my soul, and I don't know how to. But I thank you for that, because I swear for Jesus, I promise you, I don't even know how to find joy in it. But
Yeah, but you're gonna have
Yep.
to. See, isn't
I
that
will.
interesting? Yeah.
Because I know, because the whole thing is like I have to write it out.
Mhm.
And that's what I was just telling my daughter. I was telling Franklin, it's like I have to go and do poetry again and just get it out, because that's the way I get it out.
That's where you get it out.
That's the only way I get it out, because there's some things that are not under my control.
Right.
And that's what I struggle with. And I do the whole serenity prayer, give me the strength, all this stuff. But some things it's like,
There you go.
Yep, it gets you just.
Yep, and
You
she's
don't
saying
know
you're
what
gonna
to-
have to figure out how
how
to.
to-
because I have been like
Yeah,
really, that's why I made the joke
Yeah.
about the asshole thing.
Yeah.
I have been bad here. I have
But
been
see,
bad
this is
here
what
lately.
You're saying, I have been bad. What makes it bad?
What makes
Who
it
says it's bad?
My mouth makes it bad.
But
The way.
No, but is it? Do you truly feel that way, or is it because society has told you if I drop the F-bomb, if I drop the B word, that's bad?
Bad, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like go.
Well, they make
Yeah.
women feel
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you're a
That
little
we're
a
not
little-
allowed to be that
right,
way.
and you're a little callous, and you're a little,
Right.
Have a vulgar mouth or-
trashy.
Yeah,
if you,
right.
if you
Mhm.
Right.
That's not ladylike.
Yeah, I'm
There
not
you
a
go.
lady. I never said I was a lady. I've always said I was a woman.
Woman,
Let's just be
right.
clear.
That's
I am
hello,
not a
ladylike.
lady.
It's like,
Like an old time lady, I am not that chick. Trust.
me, I'm clutching
And
my
don't
pearls. In
even
this
try
case,
to be.
My,
Ma, you practically
Put that
trapped
the
me.
inner
What you
sausage.
talking
What kind of
about?
foolishness
Get
I'm talking about?
Oh,
Who
yeah,
put that the inner sausage on my plate like it was good?
As long as we were there.
did you try?
You should be ashamed of yourself.
You see how I sold that to you? I said,
You're all pretty on the
try
fork.
that.
It's horrible. I don't even want to swallow it. My
Oh,
stomach
no.
hurt before it even hit.
I'm not just
I was,
that girl.
now you almost made me say something that
so
would make me
awful.
crash. What you mean you're not gonna swallow?
I'm sorry, but thank you so much,
so
Candace. That was-
nasty.
All right, that was definitely this
Wow.
was.
Yeah,
I
thank
mean,
you.
my tear all the way up.
Was this like the best special guest?
This is
ever?
the best special
Oh,
guest.
oh,
But Nina,
yeah.
you missed
You
it, girl.
missed it. You missed it.
Thank you.
I wanted to
so much.
read
Thank
you.
for coming.
Thank you
And
so
you
much.
know what?
for that.
As I was telling you, I have so many friends that would love to have your gift bestowed upon them. That's how I'll put it, because that's what it is. I feel like you bestowed something upon us today.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, we literally just met this young lady.
Yep.
Just met her.
Yes.
Like 15 minutes
Minutes
I was
ago.
gonna say, just literally like 20 minutes ago, I just met her.
And the way you were able to, literally be intuitive about who and where we're going, where we're
I
struggling
mean, you
with.
read me from head to
Yeah.
toe.
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah. Can you
Yeah.
do can you do me one more favor
Uh,
and floss and
what?
prosper over this garbage we eating? Tell us how we can pair this with this fantastic wine we're drinking right now.
Is there anything from the ancestors that can tell us about this?
Any ancestors can come down and see how we all pair this with this wine.
We're not done yet.
Oh, we're done.
We're not done.
We're
We
done.
have Twinkies and Snowballs. We have Twinkies and Snowballs.
I mean, Halloween candy and wine does not go.
It doesn't,
It
but
does
maybe it
not
does with
go.
the Twinkies.
Oh
Maybe it
gosh, I don't know. Like I can't. I just
Give
can't.
me, look.
What is-
Okay, give me the sweet harmony. That's
It's
all.
pumpkin- it's
That's
pumpkin
it.
spice.
No.
It's not even, the Twinkies aren't even good anymore because they took out the antifreeze.
They did. They took out the.
Oh my gosh.
There used to be
They really
Twinkies
ruined it.
and cockroaches that would survive at a time.
Oh my gosh.
And snowballs. Who didn't have a snowball? when
I
they were
love
a kid?
snowballs.
Yeah,
I'll
Yeah.
take some of the snowball for real.
Snowball.
It's not gonna pair with anything. You know, I'm gonna pair with the sweet Bella.
Try with the sweet Bella.
I don't know.
Bella
You
is,
want some sweet Bella?
Bella is fabulous.
And the favorite
Oh
must
my
be
God.
and the
We
red
don't
wine was
drink alcohol. 'Cause we
We'll drink it.
We
We'll
have-
drink
we
it
have
from you. Don't worry
naked-
about it.
no, you don't have to
Well,
pay.
I would say, yeah, if you want some of the Bella, it's like 7% or we have some naked sangria too.
We do have naked sangria with no alcohol. But okay, pairing it with the Bella, how's that work? Not good.
Hold on.
Oh, God.
Yeah, go ahead there, seeing
Which
another
one you got? The snowball?
Just take it like a pill.
Don't take it like a pill. And
I'm
it's,
not chewing.
and it's
I'm not.
pumpkin spice. Mmm. Everything is good with pumpkin spice, isn't it?
It's really
What's pumpkin spice?
I mean,
The
spice is
snowball?
not good. Twinkie.
The Twinkie is?
Steven, do you have any questions on Instagram?
Okay,
No.
okay, that tastes like cough syrup with the snowball.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna try with the Twinkie.
Mm-mm.
Mm.
You don't
And
want
the
none of
sweet
these
Bella.
problems.
Mm-mm.
You don't want not.
You just enjoy your.
Mom,
Yeah,
what's the
enjoy
middle of the
that.
Twinkie?
Enjoy that.
It's pumpkin spice. It's Halloween. It's supposed to be, pumpkin spice goes with everything.
Yeah.
Frosted Flakes has pumpkin spice. I put on Instagram. Enough. I'm done.
I know, with the pumpkin
You know what
spice.
though? Once you take it with the sweet Bella, it actually doesn't taste that bad with the Twinkie.
Okay, let's see.
But you gotta eat the
It's still
Twinkie
got
first,
off,
and then you gotta swallow it. You have to
Tastes like
swallow the.
Robitussin mixed together with the
That's what I'm
pumpkin spice.
saying. It's like,
Let's try with the one.
It has
Yeah.
that tussin feel. It has that tussin, that cherry NyQuil.
It has the cherry
It's
NyQuil
got the
with
cherry
the.
Oh.
NyQuil flavor.
But
It's
you
got that
know what?
boysenberry
I'm
feel.
not
I
hating.
kind of hate it.
I hate it. I just
I
I
kinda
do
hate it.
not like it whatsoever. No,
I don't know about
I
the.
don't think I can do the snowball. I don't think I
Yeah,
can
why
just do this anymore.
Okay,
I just don't like all the candy.
Can I just have the cheese
I'm
and
like,
crackers?
I'm a
we
saucy
can have the cheese and
person.
crackers after we
You know.
try it. After we try it with this.
Oh, okay, okay, good.
No, I'm about to throw a temper tantrum
So,
right here. Next
I'm
to my
gonna have
mouth.
to have another piece of this god off. I mean, this delicious Twinkie. This delicious Twinkie.
No, don't give me another piece because I have enough.
I'm gonna have a little piece of Twinkie. Okay, it is Halloween, and this is what we're eating. Okay.
Wow, this is awful. Our stomachs are going to be killing us.
You're gonna feel horrible tomorrow.
We are not going to be feeling good tomorrow.
We got to ask a question.
Oh, we have a
Is that
question.
Adele?
Can you tell
I can't.
which
can't
crazy
speak.
wine varietal will be the most successful?
Okay.
What are you talking about? Yeah, but you
The
always
most
ask some crazy
successful.
questions.
Which basically
Edwin.
which one can tell which
She's not tasting
She's
them.
not like a.
She's not tasting. Oh, you mean like
She's
intuitively?
trying to get her like
Oh,
intuitively.
intuitively. Can you tell which two crazy one is gonna be?
Well, this is an inanimate object.
Wait a minute.
So I don't think she can.
Yeah.
Wait,
that.
can you tell which one?
Which
Everything
one would
has
be the-
energy, so you can read energy.
You can read like
But,
the energy from a bottle.
But this is like what I do is not for like that's
It's
kind
not
of
for
like
that.
entertainment.
She's not a,
Yeah.
she's not a
That's like
soothsayer,
that's not-
Edwin.
Thank
It's not. She's not a circus performer.
Thank you.
Sweet Bella.
She's not on the E channel or Lifetime. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
Just look at your numbers.
This is IBM TV, darling. Show some respect.
I was gonna say, actually, that kind of made me a little snippy, a little snarky. Because I don't
Show
know.
some
I
respect.
got a question.
Okay.
How long you're very lovely, and how long have you been doing this, and what type of training does it take to do this?
You guys got it or you don't.
She's beautiful.
Okay,
Ain't she gorgeous? She's good as a
Yeah.
person. Like I said when I started, like she's so beautiful.
Actually, we all have
That
the
is
ability to
even
do
with
this.
horrible.
And so
Absolutely.
I have been
Absolutely.
I've been on my spiritual journey for like actively for 2 years.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, so 2 years. And so what it is, it's about what made me be interested in was the idea of freedom. So I knew a lady, and she is a well-known medium, and I was on her page, and I was like, you know, I'm thinking about starting my spiritual journey, but I don't know what that entails, but I want to do it. And so she was like, well, that's wonderful. And so she directed me to someone else's page, and I was just watching and listening. And what you do is you just take what resonates with you.
Mhm.
Like every person you meet, or if you're going to start your journey, everything's not going to resonate. There's going to be some things you're going to be like, wait a minute, no, that's not for you. So that means it's not going to work for you. So
Yeah.
it's all about, you know, being open-minded, being willing to learn, but only taking what resonates and what makes sense to you.
Yeah.
So like there's a lot of information out there, and I will say this. Now, it can make some people upset in the spiritual community, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Be mindful of people who say you have to do things a certain way.
Right.
If they say you have to have this, you can't have this with this, or you can't work with this energy and that energy, be mindful of that, because that's not freedom. That's another form of what I'll say bondage, you know? There's
There's
so
like control.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like someone trying to control you. So you do what resonates with you, what feels good to you. Because when you start your path, you'll be able to tell, like, yeah, this feels good, you know, or that doesn't feel good. Like, okay, I want to work with this energy, or I'll say God or goddess, and I'm not really vibing with that one. Okay, well, thanks for
That's
coming,
but
but you know,
my spirit.
Yeah.
right. So and then
My energy.
you just be open and be mindful and just take what resonates with you.
See, but I also think that you have to have inherently, I think when you're able to tap into that, you're born to be able to tap into that.
Yeah, I
too.
was actually going to ask you a question because we have a lot of reoccurring dreams. My mother and I, like, we're very, very prone to that for some reason. And we're not sure if maybe it's because of the fact that my grandmother was so intuitive as well with her gifts and things like that. I mean, even my niece, you know, she just turned 15 and she's officially tapped in fully to what she's able to do.
Oh, wow.
And it kind of happened the same thing with me when I was about 15 or 16 with like the recurring dreams. And so what my question is to you is like, when we do have those, like, should we listen to them to the fullest to make sure?
It's a part of your bloodline.
Yeah.
And that's all I'll say about the bloodline. But yes, when you have to remember, like, dreams are like, even when you daydream or you feel like you're imagining things, you're tapping into the other realm. You're tapping into other things. So be mindful, pay attention. Like I always tell people when they say, you know, Candace, I've had these dreams and blah, blah, write the dream down.
I need to start doing that.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't
I
have
need
to
to
make
start
sense
doing
all the
that.
time.
It's always
Right.
Because they've been vivid here lately,
Yeah,
like
vivid,
vivid.
yeah.
Well, it is October, you know, and right now the veil is super thin.
Yes.
You know, so
What bill?
What does
I've
that
heard
mean?
about that. Actually, I have heard about that.
Right,
where
so,
with this
you know-
month because it's like the Day of the Dead and
Oh.
right. So it's just
Oh.
basically
Put your teeth back in.
Let me see. Let me get my teeth.
Put your teeth
Let
back
me get my teeth.
it's nothing to be fearful of. I'll say that. But like this side and the other side are close. So there's a veil that it's in between the worlds, right? And then some of us we are veil walkers or like mediums, necromancers. So we cross the veil all the time. So this time it's just the veil
It's
is
just
thin.
very
So
thin.
there's more spiritual activity going on. So
Wow.
Mm.
I've
Ain't nobody
had some-
coming for me though, right? I just don't want nobody coming for
I
me.
know, that's what I'm talking about.
Don't come for me.
My grandmother's always in this warehouse. I mean, she's here. I think she walked.
I believe it.
When she walked past me the other day, I said, "Hey, Grandma," and I'm like, "Wait a minute."
But
Mhm.
here's another thing that's been like weird, and I think Brittany can attest to this too. I feel like wherever we go, there's like this spirit that comes with us. And this is before my mother even passed. So when I lived in Raleigh, he was kind of mean in Raleigh. I mean, the bed would shake. I'm like, is this it? Oh
Oh.
God. And you know, force yourself to wake up. And then I moved to Virginia, and the same thing, that same dream, that same feeling, that same. And finally, I thought,
Slamming doors.
well, maybe you're just here because you're supposed to be here, you know, and stop being.
What he
fearful
mean
of it.
though? He should
He
be
was mean, but
mean.
he was mean in Raleigh.
He was mean at first.
He
We
was
have
mean at first.
spirits that are earthbound.
Yeah.
So what that means is they haven't transitioned over, so they're still here.
Yeah.
And so, like, once again, Hollywood makes it seem like when these doors are slamming, that these spirits are trying to hurt you.
Yeah.
They're just trying to get your attention.
Mhm.
Like I need you to help me, or
So,
find
yeah.
somebody who
Yeah.
can help
Help
me
me.
so I can transition over.
Well,
Wow.
because even in our
Yeah.
house,
This is the best like
so when we
wine
had
show ever.
Ever.
our house off the second branch, I mean, we were right next to a church and a cemetery. It was loud. They will always come in. And it's like, and a big thing also with me is that I hear them. They be screaming and yelling at you. And it's like, sometimes a lot of the time I can't get any sleep because they just talking. They're just
Mm.
talking.
Yeah.
You wanna go somewhere?
It's all about setting boundaries. You just have to
boundaries.
set your
Boundary.
boundaries.
That's what my mother said. You have to say.
And
Yeah.
also,
Yeah.
Grandma would
Yeah.
say that, like you said, with earthbound spirits, you have to get them to go into the light.
Mhm.
as
Yeah.
well, to get them to
Uh-huh.
pass over and tell them you need to go into the light. There's nothing here for you.
But then also too,
Somebody
sometimes
dim the
when
light,
they're
child. It's getting
earthbound,
dark.
they need healing, right? So sometimes it's like they need to heal and then they'll transition over, or they need to heal and because they still need to do something on, you know, here.
Mhm.
And sometimes when you are like a medium, etc., they just want someone to talk to.
Mhm.
Like you
Yeah.
become their
I
counselor.
had one like
so
that.
It's just
So it's almost like they have
It's different
unfinished
things.
business, but
Yeah.
they're even
Yeah.
able
Get
to
some
just
cheese to help you
rest
out. Oh, thank you.
peacefully and just go, just crawl on cross over. Like, and that does make sense. Like, I feel like that's a big thing, especially with a lot of the ones that I've ever been visited by.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's always something unfinished. And like what Grandma would always say to me, Mom, is just that you just need to listen and
Listen.
figure out what it is that they need and help them cross over so that they can just rest peacefully.
Yeah.
And that's literally what my grandma Mabel would say to me all the time.
Yeah, she
all
was
of us.
very spiritual.
Yeah,
And
all of us.
so she used to go to Japan and do this. And people would pay her to come to Japan
Mhm.
and literally just help them cleanse their home. You know,
Mm.
everybody knows burning sage, right?
Mhm.
God knows I burned my share.
Yep.
I burn a little sage. But she
I'm
would
trying to
actually, you
snowball.
know, do a spiritual healing of their homes. And they would pay her to come over there and do that. And she would just go, I guess I'm gonna, for want of a better
Absolutely.
word, say village or township to township. And then she would do that for about a year and come back to the States. So she was very intuitive, I think. And I think the word there is intuitive. Can you, intuitively attach yourself to someone and what they're feeling? And I think that in itself is a gift.
What's the
Just to be able
difference?
to say that.
But that's a good point. And what's the difference between an intuitive and an empath?
Okay, so an empath is a person who feels other people's energies, other people's emotions.
I think
Like,
I'm,
even,
I think I'm empathic.
I'm a big empath.
I am very
I thought you said I'm a piece of bacon. I was
Who
wrong.
said piece of bacon? Are you hungry? You talking about bacon?
What's some bacon? You're gonna pair better with some of this.
Let me get some more of these Vienna sauces.
But like usually, like it is.
What do we have another
Well,
question?
Edwin actually asked a question too. He
Uh-oh.
said, "Do you recommend a meditation or any type of other activities to get more in touch with your inner or spiritual self?"
That's a good question.
Okay.
That's a good one.
That's a
Edwin.
great question. This is delicious.
I say meditation or prayer. And like people make it seem like, oh, when you go into meditation, you have to be quiet. You have to be in a space where it's dark and you're just sitting there and you're just doing whatever. Meditation comes in all forms. If it comes for you when you're sitting in a quiet space, that's for you. If it comes for you when you're exercising, that's for you, because it's about setting the intention. It's like, I, Candace Nicole, I want to connect with my higher self. I call forth my protection of my highly elevated ancestors while I go into this form of meditation. So, like I said, if you want to be in a quiet place, if you want to exercise, if you want to sing and dance, it's all a form of releasing. And then when you have said, your prayer over yourself and calling forth protection, it allows you to connect and start your spiritual journey and your path.
Wow.
All right, so I'm going to ask you a challenging question. And this is something that just came to my mind. When we're talking about our ancestors now, how do you know who's going to pop up, though? Because all of our people want good. Like, I know some people that in my family, I know
Don't be coming back here.
they want good. And I ain't trying to...
And I get that question a lot. So I always tell people, when you first start working with your ancestors, you want to work with your highly elevated ancestors. So those are the ancestors, like I said, they're highly elevated. So
perhaps
they have
they're
gone.
the ones in heaven. Them the ones I want to talk to.
I just say highly elevated.
Okay.
However you want to call it.
They don't know.
I ain't interested in nobody in purgatory.
Well,
I may be going there, Kerosene.
No.
Mom, why can't we have any of our ancestors come and visit and teach me how to cook?
That might be helpful.
Like,
But seriously, going back to what you're saying, you want to work with your highly elevated ancestors.
So how do you stop them knuckleheads from coming up?
I call forth my highly elevated ancestors.
What if they think they highly elevated?
I call forth my highly elevated ancestors. Your other ancestors who aren't, they're not going to come forth because you're not calling them forth.
Okay.
That's another thing you have to understand. You have the power. You have the control.
And then you're like, no, not you, Uncle Larry. You can sit down.
Yeah.
I'm
So
just
you're
playing.
gonna hear-
I don't have Uncle Larry. Highly elevated. Okay.
I'm called on my highest.
That's up, just up there looking at me and protecting me and looking out for my best interests. Those
You
are the
know
ones
what?
I'm looking for.
They could be friends too. 'Cause
Right.
I had a very good friend, Greg Bassett, who I miss every day. And he died unexpectedly. But he was like my brother from another mother. Italian, loud, horrible. And we fought.
I remember him. I didn't know him, but I remember you talking
Brothers
about
and
him.
sister, and some people would say, "How long have you been
I didn't know he
married?"
died.
And I go, "Girl, I would never marry him." It was like that. And when he died, I just felt like, a piece of me left with him, because even his mother said, "What are you going to do now?" We were that close, and we met working together at IBM.
That was that one. He said something smart to you one day. I remember you telling me that he said something, and y'all have been tight ever since.
I used to travel when I first started working. I traveled like I was on vacation. I had 8 suitcases. And he'd go, "What the hell?
That was it.
Where you going?" I said, "We going, to New Orleans for the conference." And he goes, if you think I'm lifting one of those suitcases for you, think again. And I'm like, you're not going to even help me with the heavy one? He goes, you had no business bringing it. And he was yelling at me through the airport, and I'm dragging, this stuff trying to get to the desk. And he's like, I'm not going to even lift it up on the scale. Oh, because you had no business.
She's a traveler.
He's a traveler. And so I was like mortified. I'm thinking, first of all, he's screaming at me in the airport.
Right.
He won't help me. And then so I had to get back. When you get out the airport, when we were in New Orleans, and you get on the little trolley. He's like, you figure it out.
I don't even know anybody that have 8 pieces of luggage.
And you only gonna be there for 3 days.
I don't even care where I'm going, how long I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna put that mess on a backpack and I'm gonna keep it pushing. I ain't checking no luggage. I'm doing none of that. He got 8 pieces of luggage. What does that set even look like? I don't even know what that looks like.
3-day business trip.
I learned.
I wouldn't either. I wouldn't help you either, sis. I would not have done it. I would not have done it.
Jumping in on your own. And I was like, see there?
Cute.
The real man.
Because she cute. That's why. No. Because she cute. That's why they helped her.
But I learned a tough lesson that day, which was packing one suitcase.
Thank you.
Traveling with Greg, you are not getting
Nice.
And make sure it's a carry-on.
And make sure it's a carry-on.
Look.
Now I can go with
Don't
Billy,
even.
a grocery store bag and say, oh, yeah, this is all I got.
Act like
We have another question.
Chris Brooks says hello with Matt Wild.
Hey, Chris.
Elizabeth Hope says hello.
Hey, sis. Give baby Charlotte. Give baby Charlotte kisses. We love you.
Edwin says calling out to Cena.
Hey.
Hey.
Says your ancestors in a knockout drag down fight.
Who will show up first? Oh my God! You know what, Edwin?
You wasn't speaking about my grandma, the bootlegger,
She would show up
with the gun in her bra.
Wait a minute,
That
your
one.
grandmother was a bootlegger?
I told you that. That's
I
so
was
yes.
gonna say,
Bootlegger in South Carolina.
She was a bootlegger.
Now, I'm
You
gonna
ran
bet
out of
she
money,
would
she
show
was
probably
kicking
with
you
the
out
gun
her
on her
house.
hips.
You know what that's called? Entrepreneurship.
Thank you. That's what we were talking about when I brought her up.
My grandmother was.
She was an entrepreneur.
I guess that's what it's
That
called
was my
now.
motivation. But I
Yeah,
don't.
it's just called
But
that now,
all
but
my
like,
mess is legal.
If you're over here, like, especially with my great grandmother over here cussing out cops and
You
police
know-
officers to get off her property with the shotgun.
shotgun.
Okay,
See,
and
she
was
sound like
bootlegging
my grandmother.
Yeah, she was a mean.
across
lady.
the board.
My grandmother was mean
But
But let
too.
me say this: when I get like at my worst time with this business, I always go, Isabel, please help a sister out.
See, and she'd be like, "I
She
got
didn't take
you, boo
any
boo.
shit. She didn't take
I
any
got
shit.
you."
And that's what I would do. I would go, Isabel, I know I made it legal. You were a bootlegger, and I made the business legal.
Yep.
But
So now-
but your granddaughter need a little help.
I need some
I
good
know, even
energy.
Uncle says that she never took no crack.
Yeah, she did
Whenever
not.
they would go there for the
Did
summer
not.
and stuff when they were kids. My
Did
uncle,
not.
everything she didn't take
Francis
nothing.
says hello.
Hey, Amy.
Elizabeth says she enjoyed the Mind of Vote show.
Woo,
All
woo.
right.
Now, Amy's
That was
actually
great.
a friend of mine that I went to school with. Amy.
We got the
Very good
millennials.
to see you.
Yeah, y'all still look. Y'all better get out there and vote. Don't
Vote.
play.
One of my best
Do
friends
not
has-
play.
Wind the vote.
Wind the vote. Don't
Wind
play.
the vote. Wind the vote. But
Get
yes,
out there and vote.
So back to Candace, who, by
Yeah.
the way, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Well, thanks
Thank
for having
you
me.
so
I
much.
needed that. That was
Oh, yeah, your
helpful.
skin is like butter.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Right?
That's why I do this
Like
for
this.
some reason.
Yeah, just want to touch her. Just want to like.
Face, but you know, I don't know how
Look.
creepy that would be. But I just keep looking at her face this morning. I just want to touch her cheek.
Wait, it's
She's
Halloween.
like,
It's
look,
Halloween.
she's
We
like,
can do it.
I went on this show with these 3 weirdos.
No.
She was just like, well, thanks for inviting me. Ain't coming back.
Not coming back.
Y'all.
And too much cheap
Because
wine.
we over here like, I want to touch your face. Like,
Yeah, I know, right?
that
It's like,
alone is just creepy.
Yeah.
she has beautiful skin.
That alone is just creepy.
Okay. 4
What, we got 4 minutes?
Okay.
What?
Oh my goodness.
All right. So I want to.
Fastest hour.
I want to let Candace tell everybody out there how to contact you for what you do. Okay. And then also Benita is out there. You're going to be on her books and bottles. She's going to have you talk about the fabulous books that you. I can't wait.
I'm excited.
I'm going to be tuned into that.
Can't wait for that either.
All
It's gonna be a
right.
good
So
one.
tell everybody.
So once again, my name is Candace Nicole. It's under Spiritualist Candace Nicole on Facebook and Instagram. If you want to email me, it's spiritualist, and I'll spell Candace, CANDACE Nicole is NICOLE at gmail.com. And I also have a link where you can book me. And I think I forgot what it is. It's spiritualistcandacenicole .as.me.
Okay.
You got an
So
email?
.as.me. Okay.
Spiritualistcandacenicole at gmail.com.
Okay, yeah,
All right,
that's what
all
I wanna-
right.
That's the email.
Because
okay.
I'm going to be booking you. I
Yeah.
think we're going to have some ladies here, and we're going to actually, everybody private, obviously. We're not going to be in a group setting. But I'd love to book you and have a couple of ladies here, and we all kind of, go
Enjoy
into
that.
it.
Yeah.
And
that
we
would
have
be
we have a
nice.
lot of rooms here, so nobody has to, have their.
Oh,
their
yeah.
stuff
Yeah,
down.
a lot of
Complete
room.
privacy.
Because
for
my mother
everyone.
was she was like, nobody needs to know what I'm saying to you, to any, and I'll tell you, to the day she died, she never said anything about anybody. that she
Wow.
read.
And
Gotta
another
love
thing
it.
is that like how you said with like people when they're doing their meditations, like if you need noise in the room or you need quiet, she was that way. So she would actually do healings and meditations, and she just wanted you to talk. Just keep talking. She was like, don't sit in silence.
Yeah.
And so, and she'd have music on, start dancing around and everything
Yeah.
because that's how she got in tuned with what she was doing and helping people.
Right.
So I loved like when you said that, it's like it just depends on what type of person you are.
Right.
To actually go through that process.
Oh, well, thank
I loved
you.
it.
And I have
Yes.
I have somebody else I'd like to bring forward. We're going to have a little private party tonight for some of our super fans of Shoe Crazy Wine. But Edibles by Lisa. Lisa's here. She's the one that's catered
Like,
the
don't be on
event.
camera.
Come on up here and say hey with the laziest
Come
costume
on up here with the
ever.
laziest costume.
ever.
She got
She
an
was
orange
our
t-shirt,
special
y'all.
A couple weeks ago. She was
Lazy.
our special
Yeah,
guest when
she
you
was
did our
here.
food.
Yeah, she made all the
Happy
food, and here she is
Halloween.
again tonight. Edibles by Lisa.
Yay.
Lisa, tell them how to get in contact with you in the Richmond area.
It is ediblesbylisa@gmail.com, and it is www.ediblesbylisa.com.
And guess what she's going to be pairing with her foods that she's selling is Shoe Crazy Wine.
All right.
So you'll be able
Yes.
to get wine and meals or snacks and wine and meals. I'm just saying.
And wine and
And
wine.
And
Pretty
wine
much my
and
baby
meals.
said, never
Meals
mind about
and
Lisa's
meals
food,
and
buy
wine.
the
Buy the wine. Order the food to get the wine.
Yes.
But we're excited to partner with Edibles by Lisa. She's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Cash App by Lisa.
Ah.
So we'd like to have our producer come over with his costume. Come on, Steve, and say
Yeah,
hello.
Yeah.
we got a couple of minutes before we
Yeah,
head out. Hi,
and look,
Instagram.
and Franklin, come on
Franklin
up
and
here with
Chris,
your
come on
costume.
up.
Chris,
Come
come up here
on.
with your
Bald
costume.
head.
Come on, say hello. This
Look
is
at
Yeah.
you with the bald head. I didn't know you
got
shaved
the
your
people
head.
together.
We got
I'm
them
gonna have some more of
together.
this.
And Edwin can come if he doesn't bring Peony.
Where's Edwin?
Yeah, got the
Chris,
crew on
Chris,
here.
Chris got a bald head, y'all. Look at that.
Wait, what is he doing? What are you
What?
Yeah, get her.
Got you.
Get her, Franklin.
He
Get
got
her.
you. With them
Okay.
ears.
We've had some fun tonight. We've learned some things tonight. We've got in
Yes.
touch with some of the feelings that we've had
Yeah,
almost suppressed, I would say, for myself.
my eyelashes almost fell off.
tonight.
Yes.
And thank you to Candace. Thank you to Edibles
you
by
so
Lisa. Thank you
much.
to our guys. Thank you to our producer. I'm Gwen Hurt from Shoe Crazy Wine, shoecrazywine.com. If you want to order some wine, go to Total Wine, Walmart, Sam's Club.
Yeah,
Food
Libby
Lion,
Market.
Market at 20
Yes.
cents, Libby Market, you name
The
it.
little
Name
wine
it.
shop. in
Yes.
Midlothian. I think
And we're going to be in 3 states distributing ourselves.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. I am Teresina St. Clair with the Tipsy Sommelier.
Okay.
We're going to start doing some events. Again, social distance, of
Yes,
course,
yes,
at Richmond
yes.
Wine Station. So I know a lot of people have hit me up here lately. We're going to start doing some wine classes. We're going to also start doing more sipping paints.
Yes.
So hit me up at info@ttswine.com. Also, if you would like to order any of these delectable wines that we're showing here, your code for discount is TTS.
one.
TTS1.
And
On
I
Shoe
am
Crazy Wine.
I'm Brittany Hurt. I'm Baby Shoe Crazy Wine. If you want to get in touch with me for any helping with social media marketing, you can reach me at bhurt@shoecrazywine.com.
And thank you for joining us this evening. We hope you learned something. We hope you enjoyed Candace and Candace Nicole.
Cole.
And Mr. Cole.
Yes.
Love it.
And what
Happy-
did you share with us today?
Yes. Happy Halloween.
Happy
and
Halloween.
get out there and vote. Vote.
Unless you get them nasty frosted ones. The nasty